Hey, kitty. Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you all what my garden looks like in the winter. It's pretty messy right now. You can see some tubs and things around. Still got some of my Halloween decorations out. And forgive the mess to the side, my neighbor's doing some work on their house. They just bought their property over there and they're doing some repairs to it. So just wanted to show y'all how brown and dead looking everything looks like in the winter. I've got some green here in my blackberry plants. Some of them I got the traveler variety, so I have to be able to help stake them upwards to grow up since I can't grow out. My cat's very happy that we have catnip down here. Catnip. And throughout the bed here is going to be the tomato bed in the spring. And right now you can see I have some garlic interplanted in different places. Oh yeah, baby. Hi. Hello. You want to be the center of attention. So I have the garlics planted through here, and I'm going to be planting the tomatoes here at these poles on the ends. And I'm planting the garlic in sort of the in-between spaces, and they're going to come out around July. I did an experiment last year that worked out pretty well, in which I had these grow bags here, and I just did it in one. It was over by where those long tubs are now, but I had a zucchini in one of these, and these are 5-gallon fabric bags, and they did really, really well. I actually got a better harvest from that than I did in the raised bed, so I'm going to be growing them all in here now. I think they liked that I could feed them directly, and my dogs like to play over there. They like to be fed directly, I've found, so they really liked the individual attention. Other greenery I've got over here is that underneath the blackberries, I've got these strawberries. And the reason I did that is that someone really recommended to me to put strawberries underneath roses. But I was taking my rose bushes out, actually, because my dogs were getting a lot of problems with splinters in their paws. So I actually wound up taking all my rose bushes out. Over here, this container has... Hey, sweetie. This container has more garlic. Planted a whole bunch of garlic through here. And you can see my watering hose is taken out right now. I'm wearing some pajama pants that my brother gave me for Christmas right now. These two containers are both figs. I've got a Celeste fig in here, in which a coworker gave me, and that's actually what started me on figs. And then here is I will not pronounce this correctly, Violette de Bordeaux, I believe is what it's called. It's supposed to be a more fruity fig, where this one's more of a sugar fig. So we're going to have two different kinds. We're going to try them out. And while they're rated for my zone, they are very young. So I put these clear covers over them and put some heavy stuff on top. We have already gotten a snow, and I received this rosemary in this pot from someone quite a long time ago. It does not like it. Rosemaries like to get big. And then it snowed on top of it, and so it's kind of dying off. So this poor rosemary, I think, is I have two bigger ones actually out in the yard planted as landscaping, so didn't really need this rosemary, but it's unfortunately not liking that pot. I might cut it back and repot it and see if it does better, but I really honestly don't need the rosemary. Over here, this was supposed to be a very cold hardy elderberry, and it died back all the way to the ground, so I don't know if it's going to come back into the spring. We'll find out. This here is, right now, is the herb garden. I'm actually going to wind up pulling these herbs out, even though they did really well here. This bed got a lot more sun than I thought it would, and so I'm actually going to put some more squash and tomatoes in here. And I'm going to move these herbs. I'm going to actually take out my front bushes in front of the house and change that into an herb garden. Up there is a lot of lemon balm. I like to make tea with it, even though I don't always like to make tea with it. So I had it in the ground before, and then I found out how easily it spreads like mint. So I wound up pulling them out and putting them in these pots. And then this one here is an apple mint, and there is peppermint and spearmint in there. It dies back every winter, and then it comes back huge in the spring. So even though it looks all dead and everything, and the same thing with these lemon balms, they look terrible in the winter, and then they come back just flush. That container there, I have some citrus in the greenhouse, which we'll go visit in a second. And so someone gifted me some of that citrus feed, which I've actually not used yet. So I don't know, it's the Miracle-Gro stuff, which when I first started gardening, I used a whole lot of that, and it works pretty well. But I've got some other slow release based off of compost style now, so I'm going to compare the two. That one there is a trifoliate orange. They do lose their leaves in the winter, so don't feel like it's dead. And these things can handle extremely cold temperatures, so he's fine back there. You can see these those thorns on the suckers. Yeah, I've scratched myself pretty deep with one of those before, so you gotta be careful with that. This was an old herb box that I'm really just using here to take up space. I'm gonna put flowers in it in the spring. Here's another elderberry. This one's doing a little better, but it's still dying back some. You can see I had some leftover plant. My cat's trying to take over my phone. You can see this one's black lace, and that one over there was going to be the laced up variety over there. This one here is a beautyberry. I wound up getting it without really knowing where he was. Andrew, get off of the raspberries. Hey. Hey. Let's not do that. Off. Off. Jack, not time for play. Andrew, off. Come on. You know better. Oh, he's blocking your way, isn't he? He's being a meanie. Go on. Jack, come here. Be better. Don't bother your sister. Okay, so this was an experiment this year to put... We're going to put 2 raspberries there. Right now I only have 1. And they chewed it all the way down to a nub. They never bothered the blackberries last year, so it's really weird that they love chewing on the raspberry stems. It's really weird. And then I have these poles here so they won't jump into the garden, because someone likes to dig. I don't know who that could be, huh? Who is it, Panda Bear? Oh, she won't look at me. She knows I'm talking about her. She only does that when she knows that I'm saying something about her. So, those are going to be raspberries and more blackberries. And the reason I'm planting more blackberries over there is, for one, this one here is my oldest blackberry. Doesn't look like it right now. I had to cut it way back. And he was in a different pot, a little bit smaller. And it was a wooden style barrel, and it grew there fantastically. But the problem was, the spot that I was in wasn't getting quite enough sun, and I wanted to put some other stuff there that could handle a little sun. So I wound up digging him up, putting him in this pot. And when I was wanting to get more blackberries, I went to the store and just bought blackberries. Not thinking, I went and grabbed a blackberry from the store originally, and I didn't really know that much about blackberries at the time. And this I bought in 2017. Nope, sorry, 2018. Sorry, 2018. And it was an Apache. And I didn't know what the differences were, and it was perfect. So in 2019, I put these in here in this bed, and I just bought the same section, and it just said blackberry, and I didn't really tag close enough, and these wound up being travelers, and you can see how tall they're getting because they want to travel out from side to side and not be a compact bush that grows out. So we have a little lesson there about reading your tags. So the other reason why I'm making more of them is that the what's the word for it? The copyright, the the people who develop these plants get to copyright them, and you're not allowed to make duplicates or anything of them or give them away or sell them or anything. And all these are still under those licenses. The Apache actually expired in 2019, which is why the store wasn't selling them anymore. And so now anyone who wants to make cuttings and sell them can, because they no longer have that license on them. And so technically, if I wanted to propagate these and put them elsewhere in my garden, it's illegal. And they're not going to really catch you, but you can't really do anything with it. And I've been really getting into making cuttings and propagating them, which you'll see with my mulberries here in a little bit. And so I eventually, when I move, want to have a much bigger blackberry section, so that I wanted to propagate those in the future. So these are all going to be different beans that are going to grow up and go over. This is really not pretty right now. So over here we have the orchard. That's going to be a golden urban. It's Golden Sentinel, that's what it's called. That one's a Scarlet Sentinel. That one is a North Pole. That one's another Scarlet Sentinel. That one's kind of funny. The nursery accidentally sent me two. And they called me and said, "Hey, have you received your tree?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "That's cool." And then like a week later I got a second one. And they said, "Oops, we accidentally sent you a second one, just keep it." And this one's going to be a green variety. A green urban is what it's called. It's the oldest. I got it from a local nursery, and I'm really happy about that. I finally found a local nursery that has a lot of plants that I want, and it took a while for me to find them because I didn't have much online. So this is our little apple orchard here, and these are all apples that can grow in pots. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get some off of this one. It's all going to depend on if the others flower, because apples do have to cross-pollinate. So over here, this here originally was going to be the medical garden, and I'm going to go ahead and say this: if you got to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. This is not about avoiding the doctor. This is about if you have something small that you want to be able to just handle at home rather than having to, go and take over the counter stuff. This is not to replace a doctor whatsoever. This was originally going to be a medical garden. You can see that I've had several different plants back there that I'm pulling out and that I'm cutting back right now. But I actually finally decided to take out these bushes over here, and so I'm going to be making that all herb and medical garden, and this whole section is going to be milkweed. That along the fence is all going to be sunflowers. This is going to be some extra herbs in case they want more sunlight than what they'll get over here. They should get full sun in the summertime, but I'm going to have some backups over here. And I'm actually going to put a cold hardy pomegranate over there, where that bush is, right there. So that's going to be nice. My mother and my mom and dad gave me a rain barrel for Christmas. I'm so excited about that. They knew that I really wanted one. So all these bushes are going to come out. This is all going to be an herb garden, and I've worked on trying to layer it to make it look nice and landscaped. Down here, we laid down some protection and put down mulch, and we're trying to kill the grass off underneath, and we're going to actually put in bushes all around that edge. And they're going to be tea plants so that we can make our own tea. And then this section is where we're going to put all our vines, like our watermelons, cantaloupes, that sort of stuff. So really excited about that. And we're going to put an edible hibiscus, which get pretty darn big. We're going to test it. It's not rated for this zone, so we're going to treat it like an annual. We're going to put it right here. That's one of my rosemaries there. One half of it's not doing great, and the other half's doing fine. So I'm going to put a hibiscus right here. But it is going to be annual. I'm going to put it in and out. And we're trying to decide what to put on either side. Last year I put lavender, which did really well, on one side of the mailbox and not on the other. So I don't know if it's the soil or what. And then So we've got a fire pit over here that we need to move back into the backyard. All these bushes we're eventually going to take out, and we're going to put in even more blackberries. We love blackberries. This section doesn't get a ton of sun as much as the other one does, this side does. You wouldn't think that because of this space, but this side actually doesn't get that much sun. It's just really strange that way. Here's more of the orchard. Hey, it's not playtime. He sounds terrible, but that's how he tries to play. So here is a persimmon. Will you sit for us? Thank you. Thank you. Shake. Oh, you're too excited right now. We haven't had playtime today. So this is a Fuyu persimmon. That is an Ozark plum. This one here is a Methley plum, and it was really weirdly shaped, so I've got it tied up to that right now. This is a cold hardy pomegranate. Right here, they lose their leaves in the winter. That's a cutting of one of the mulberries I had, and I should have showed you the mulberries over on the other side. And this here, with the ugly insulation on it, is the greenhouse. And this is where all my citrus are. And outside is probably low 40s, and it's 52 in here right now. Let's see, the lowest it's gotten to has been 35, and it can sometimes get pretty warm in here. I'm actually having to work on that. This here is my lime-caught tree. Let's see if I've got, yeah, my lime-caught. So it's a mix between a lime and a kumquat. And you can see I've got these Christmas lights all through here. That is a dwarf pomegranate. I got it, I just want to see what it does. It's supposed to make really tiny pomegranates. That's a leek that I'm just playing with that I ate. I cut it off, I started putting it in water, and it grew up pretty well, and then I stuck it in dirt, and then now I'm adding more dirt in there to blanch it. So we'll see what happens with it. This here is my jalapeno. It's still doing great here in the greenhouse. I need to pick these actually. This here is a ghost. Not a ghost. This one's a Carolina Reaper. And I bought it for $1 at a store just to see. That one is another laced up elderberry, which I just got in this little pot for right now until the spring. Got it ready to replace the other one if I need to. This one is a dwarf black elderberry. Or not, sorry. A dwarf black mulberry. That one's a Tabasco pepper, which I cut back heavily for the winter, and you can still see that it's got a lot still on it. It did amazing. Like, it was all the way to up here, and it was just covered in peppers. We made so much sauce with it. There's some more strawberries. We'll see what happens up here. I took some cuttings off my lavender. That there is a Barbados cherry, which I just tried to put in that little container, and it did great until about 2 weeks ago, and then I just dropped everything, which is weird because there's another one right over there and he's doing fine, but it might just be because of the small pot. We'll see. There's another raspberry and a blackberry that I've just gotten here until the spring. I've got various different things I just tried sprouting just to see how they do, and I was gonna put them in the fall, and then they weren't doing so well. So a lot of these are gonna get potted up later, and we'll just see what happens. This one here is my Satsuma. You can see all these wires where I'm trying to train it to be different ways. That's edible hibiscus there. This one's my Meyer lemon. I've already harvested off of it once. You can see it looks kind of pathetic. It did not like living inside, which is why the greenhouse option had to be made. It's got this one, it's coming up, it's ripening up, and then it's got this other one here, which we'll see how it does. This one here is my Dragon Cayenne. This little producer was amazing. He came up from seed from my other Dragon Cayenne 2 years ago, and he powered through 2 frosts as a seedling and grew to be absolutely massive and outperformed any of the others that I grew. So I got it in this little grow bag. We're trying to keep him going. This here is a variegated pink Eureka Lemon. So we'll see how it does. I've only had it for just a little bit, just a few weeks, so we'll see. That there is a tea plant, so this is what's going to eventually be along the hedgeway, along the driveway. This is a tropical passion flower, passion fruit. So I got him, we'll put him in the dirt, and we're going to see how he does here. We're in zone 7A, so I don't think he's going to make it super long, but we're going to try. That there is a variegated kumquat. So we're going to see how he does. He hasn't flowered yet. I've had him for 3 or 4 months. That one there is a Barbados cherry again. He's doing pretty well. We'll see how he does. That's a bay laurel over there. Those are more of the tea plants. I bought them online. They're doing terrible. So we'll see. I'm not super excited about their progress so far. So the nursery I mentioned before has a lot of plants there as well, so I might just be buying it from them. I found them after I already purchased all these, so we'll see. This one here is a Persian lime. I don't remember if I mentioned that one, and that one's another bay tree over there. That there is a Scotch bonnet pepper, and I think I might be allergic to them because I handled the other peppers just fine, but that one, it made my face feel very weird, unlike any other hot pepper. So my fiance liked them, so we're keeping it, but I'm not gonna eat them anymore. That one there is a ghost, which grew very strangely. It lost all its leaves along its trunk, just kept this big canopy. I would have said that it didn't get full sun, but that spot gets full sun and other things grew at it around it great. So over there is some stuff that shouldn't be over to winter that I'm trying to. I've got 3 ghosts over on the end that I actually braided together. So I'm trying to, what's the term, bonsai? See if I can get them to harden and make a cool design with that. That one, that flat one there, that is a, oh, I just lost the word for it. It's a desert glow, oh, I just lost the name. Prickly pear, that's what it is. A desert glow prickly pear. So that's some other cuttings that I tried, and we're gonna see how it does. I got a wheat growing in that one. This plant growing here is something I bought online, which was very interesting. It's called a mushroom plant, and the leaves taste like mushrooms, so it's kind of interesting. It's supposed to not survive here very well, and it's doing fantastic in the greenhouse. It wants as much water as it possibly can. So that's what's going on here in the greenhouse. Just to show you my heating setup, I've got these lights that are across everything, and that's to catch flies. I've got some solar powered fans in here. These all come back to this here, which has a set point that it turns on and off at, and so that's turns on all the heating in here whenever it gets a certain temperature, whenever it drops below a certain temperature. So I got some above to keep the general room warm, and then I have them around all these plants. It's all through here. So I'm hoping next year to try a Satsuma in the ground. You're really not supposed to be able to do it here in Zone 7A, but I met someone who has one in their yard, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna attempt to do it out here. So that's about everything that's out here. Again, sorry for the dogs. That's the other poor pepper that I just left to fend for itself on the outside cold. I do have a little 4x4 garden, which is what I started with over there, which I have dumped leaves into right now. This is just going to be a big bed of leeks. You can see the dog proofing that had to be done for somebody. Yeah. And that's about it. So I just wanted to show you all what it looked like out here. This is where we set up our hammock. So yeah, we do have a peach tree over there, and I had a little tub that I grew potatoes in. But other than that, that's about it. Do you have your ball? Oh, you're gonna go get your ball? Here's what it looks like from the other side. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks. See ya.